Good Friday morning, everybody.
Good Friday morning. Hello, 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 Mark. How are you, man?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am juiced and ready to go, baby. I've got my caffeine hot and ready to go. And just we got a good guy, a good buddy coming on. Little change in plans, but we got a good buddy coming on. I'm looking forward to that.
So let's welcome in here right away. Okay. Good morning, Sekou.
What's up? What's up?
Good morning, Sekou Pyle. How are you? The man, the myth, the legend.
It's more along the lines of how crazy can
I just don't have a Lynx hat. I don't rate yet. No, I'm just kidding.
it's not the man, the myth, the legend anymore. It's Dad, can you just
Oh, you're not a got a minute guy, you're a dad, can you just
Dad, can you just like right now I'm so loud and they're in there. So I got one in college classes and one in elementary school classes, and they're both like that. Can you just keep it down a little bit?
Right.
Yeah, it's another good day. Here we are. We're in marks our the end of our third week with Level Up Today. And we've had a lot of good people on, everybody's been great that's come on. We've had a lot of good information. And today we welcome Sekou and Mark. Why don't you try to kick it off but kick it off and let us know what's going on. What's new? Is there anything new going on that we need to know?
So it's interesting to watch the landscape of real estate around the country as things are being shut down.
Yeah.
There are a lot of brokers who I've been in touch with around the country who've reached out to me asking how I'm doing in terms of how I'm operating still and how I'm doing things. It's interesting to see how, when crisis happens, everyone just wants to come together and work together. And I have to say probably 80% of the brokers and agents out there, no matter what your background is, no matter what your office is, no matter what colors flag you put in front of the house, everyone's coming together.
Right.
It is frustrating to see that, there are some companies out there that are not allowing their agents and brokers to mingle with other agents and brokers. We're all here just trying to help each other, but I am pleased to say that my contacts around the country are all working together, helping each other out. How do we go live? What information can we share?
Right.
It's really nice to see.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's proven by we had Tony Geraci on the other day, largest Century 21 broker in Ohio, over 400 agents. I spoke with Coldwell Banker brokers and agents this week, as well as some independents, and all willing to help, all calling me for help, my help, and I'm asking them how they're doing. And we're just reaching out to everybody out there. And it's amazing how people that you barely know are reaching out saying, hey, can you help me? Or I got a question, or can I help you in any way? And that's really how we've taken it. And you know what, Mark, we're really lucky in that we've taken some steps to completely and totally continue to improve. And I'm not saying other people aren't. I'm saying that our objective has always been to help people. And that's what our standpoint is. That's our base, right?
Right.
Well, you guys, if I could jump in here, man, it just sort of seems like it's putting on display the nature of the beast, right? And so if you have an organization that's forward thinking and you have an organization that is really sort of trying to elevate the agent and trying to elevate the business for the agent and trying to make sure that the agent is growing and being taken care of, regardless of a crisis or not, then when something happens, when the ball drops, you get to see who's scrambling to help, move that game forward.
Right.
And whenever I hear an agency that is like, well, you can't do this because of that, it says agency over agent.
Right.
Right.
Whenever there's some sort of, weird regulation around who you can communicate with, I'm like, well, what's happening behind the scenes when there's not a crisis? It's weird how people are looking at this business. This is a everyone together, we grow together scenario.
But listen, everyone's true colors are coming out now, right? It shows most Americans, are caring about one another. Most realtors around the country are caring about one another. I mean, I see lives going on every day, all day long, with agents from different offices, from different places around the country, all looking to help out, share some thoughts. Here's what we're doing. I've said to anyone, they can use any of our graphics and designs. If it helps them, let us know. But we are looking to, be that community leader and help out through whatever we can do for other agents. So, anyone who's listening or watching, reach out to us. We're happy to help in any way we can, or whatever we can do for you.
Well, the way that the agents have been helping, man, I've got agents that are telling me, hey, did you see the level up this morning? The information was great, such and such and such. I'm going to implement that right now. The
Right.
essence of what we do is we're working to make sure that people can still move, people are comfortable and things like that. So any information that's shared is in the betterment of society at this point. I mean, I know I don't want to make it sound like, we're saving the world or anything like that, but it's pretty damn close.
Right.
Yeah, I think there's so much stuff going on that anything that anybody does, I mean, there's so many things going on. I mean, I don't know if anybody saw this. I know you guys did the Be Different Mastermind the other day, and we got Live with Leaders next week, which is going to be amazing, right? And Sekou, you're going to be on Live with Leaders. Talk about that. Let's talk about that a little bit,
dude. Man, it's going to be the in my opinion, I get to work with the biggest thinkers in the world, right? And the biggest thinkers in the world are sort of putting their minds together on how to help society, how to help the consumer, how to help the homeowner through this scenario. And Nick Krem and his crew puts together this Live with Leaders so that everyone gets to share these ideas, right? And the ideas are ranging from what are you doing during this crisis? First of all, what are you doing? Have you pulled back on business? Are you moving forward with business? If has your business changed? What were you doing before? What are you doing in the future? What are you looking to do in the future when this thing is all over? And I'm sitting there, Tammy Pack. Well, I can't really talk about who's going to be on it, man. They got like a bunch of surprise guests and things like that. But the ideas have been incredible, man. We basically just had a powwow of what we will be talking about. And man, agents out there who are struggling or trying to figure out what they want to do or what they're going to do can get on live it's free, can get on and literally chat with arguably some of the biggest minds in this business.
Again, it comes back down to that main point is that there are agents out there that are willing to share information, help one another, no matter what company they're at, no matter what company you're at. Come on, mastermind with some great agents around the country, hear what's going on in their lives, hear how they're handling their business, get some ideas for how you can handle your business. I mean, the point is that we should learn every day, right? Grow every day, invest in ourselves every day to make ourselves better.
Learn and grow every day, man.
And that's what we're looking to do here, right? We're trying to help people every morning be in the right mindset to be ready to get up and get going, and we're trying to share information with people around the country, and agents are coming on and brokers are coming on from all different brokerages to share that information as well. And it's just beautiful to see that 80 or 90% of the agents and brokers in the country are allowing that to happen. There's always that, holdout who doesn't want that to happen.
Guys, I'm in a great mood, man. It's been so busy since this quarantine. Yes, every one of us have somebody that's affected by this, and that is the negative aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
And if we are looking at the truth, if we're looking at facts, there are so many things to do right now, and it's taking us. This step into the future is allowing us to take a moment to enjoy the stuff that's really important. A well-made cup of coffee by your family member or something like that. Like, that's super important. We were running around figuring out half calf, double lattes, such and spending $7 for a cup. And I'm hoping that's tea, Mark.
It is tea. After the show, it turns into beer, but for now it's tea.
So You're right. And here's something that's really important. I mean, there's a lot of times out there that people get, maybe people get upset and they think there's a woe is me factor sometimes.
Yeah.
And I want everybody out there to understand that no matter what your feeling is, if it's down, if it's up, if it's like stuck, if it's head in the sand, head up your ass, whatever it is, you're not alone.
Right.
I'm working with a top agent now who I've been on the phone with every day this week to help that person, get rolling. I mean, and there's several of them that I'm working with that I'm trying to push, but to make them understand that you're not alone. It's me too. I mean, Mark, we talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
We're stuck too. We're not putting our heads in the sand.
Yeah.
But we have that like lull where it's like, fuck. Excuse me, but whatever. I mean, you know what I mean, right, guys?
Oh, are we not cursing on this now?
Oh no, we could.
Listen, I'm working with 4 or 5 agents around the country right now just to help them with mindset and making sure that they have what to do every day. And the biggest challenge that they're having is accountability, because sitting in their home with their families and they're like, well, it's like, I don't have time to do it because I'm running around doing my business. Well, now they're like, well, I don't have time to do it because I'm cooking breakfast, I'm cooking lunch, I'm cooking dinner, I'm helping with homework, I'm doing this, I'm going on walks, it's recess. They're like, but you can find an hour in the morning and an hour in the afternoon for yourself to invest in time in yourself, to do the work that you need to do in order to stay focused and stay positive and worry about yourself. And yes, parents a lot of the time worry about their kids first. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but you should be able to take an hour in the morning, an hour in the afternoon to focus on yourself and your business and do planning and activities that are going to help you succeed when things get back to normal. Our business that we're doing now is no longer showing houses. Right. It is investing in ourselves and educating ourselves and checking in on our friends and family, checking in on our clients, having those conversations. But that's what we should be doing now. And it's just the hardest part is people feel like they are not accountable to anyone because they're just sitting home in their pajamas.
And I think the thing that will help that, Mark, is to strip it all down. I mean, you're starting from day one as a new agent. What did you learn? What did you have to do? You had to set a schedule. You have to organize yourself. You have to rebuild the structure. If that's, as we said yesterday, if that's starting from the beginning of if it's meditation, I mean, breathe in and out for 30 seconds for damn sake, Let's do something and break it down. And that's what I've been trying to do with the people I work with. Break it down to the smallest piece and then reverse engineer it all. It's like starting from scratch. But you know what? It's really helping. It's helping me.
So guys, I was on yesterday. I couldn't be on here because I was on yesterday with a group down in Virginia who basically asked me to take them through what our morning ritual is. My group's morning ritual, and they were actually in shock that we're still doing 99.95% of what we were doing before because of decisions that we made earlier. We as agents, we made decisions to go into the cloud, right? So now everyone's in the cloud, right? Or everyone's trying to figure out how to work from the cloud. Mm-hmm. And it was 100% of their issue yesterday was mindset.
Right.
100% of their issue was mindset. It was like, well, don't you think that would be this? And don't you think that would be that? Like one of the main objections that I got from the agents was, don't you think that's intrusive? Or don't you think that's insensitive? And I say, did I sound insensitive? Like I stopped for, did I sound insensitive? Because guys, how sensitive I am. And the reality is that I'm having probably 60 to 70% more conversations now than I did before. And we're really getting to the bottom of it. There's no BS objections. The company that I worked with yesterday was like, this is amazing. I want to know why we weren't talking about this before. And I was like, that's a question for the agents. You should definitely circle your wagons and kind of figure out why you guys. And I was on with the broker. I was on with the owner. I was not behind anyone's back.
Right.
Listen, when I give those same talk like that, Sekou, and I spoke to brokers and offices, I feel like 99% of them don't have the right mindset, right? They're not thinking about themselves and their business, right? And I break it down even further. I'm like, well, what's something that you love, right? Because something that you love, you end up being obsessed with, right?
Right.
So if
Absolutely.
you don't love what you're doing, you're not going to be obsessed with it, which is going to prevent you from doing it at the highest level, right? If there's a food you love and you go to a restaurant, you see on the menu, you're ordering it. No matter what else you can order. Like, I'm a mac and cheese guy. If I see a mac and cheese on the menu, I'm ordering mac and cheese. And you all know this. Like, I've spoken about this before.
Oh yeah.
But I'm obsessed with every type of mac and cheese out there. I want to taste them all. But the point is that no matter where I am, I get it. And so people in their business should be obsessed with helping buyers and sellers, should be obsessed and loving what they do in order to succeed at it. And when you break it down, you ask them what things they love, it's never their job. And it's sad to see sometimes that all these agents don't love what they do. Because if they did love what they do, and the ones who do, it goes to the higher level and they get more success and they're able to do and help more people. But they have to actually love what they do and love who they are in order to get there.
Mark, I'm going to take it a step further. I think a lot of these people don't know what they do. Forget love what they do. They don't know what they do. They've been trucking along.
Task.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I was on the other day and someone asked me, what's your biggest challenge when you're working with, new agents? And I was like, I don't really have a challenge working with new agents. My challenge is getting all agents to think like a business and not like an employee. And like, they were like, what? And I was like, yeah, man. I was like, the biggest challenge is to get folks to thinking differently than they did in the past.
Right.
They're not just an agent, or they're not just somebody's employee. They are, in fact, this business, and they could be doing so much more if they just recognize that they are the business.
Right. I speak about brand a lot, right?
Yeah.
You are your brand,
right?
How do you want to be represented, right? Think about the biggest brands in the world. How are they perceived, right? They spend a ton of time and money understanding what's important for the brand and building a brand. You are your brand. Spend the time and money on yourself, building the brand, who you are, what you do, how you do it, and just go out there and love what you do. And it's not difficult in concept, but
it's not.
But the mindset is really where it comes from.
Yeah, it is 100% mindset. If we walk into this world with our brain in a box, then that's the way that we're going to perceive the world, is in the box. There's people that are like, oh, well, we've got to spend all of this time at home and I don't know what I'm doing. How are you doing? Are you going stir crazy? It's a party in my house every day, man.
Right.
Every single day. These kids had a Nerf battle the other day. We were all bundled up. I couldn't possibly record all of the fun shit that we're doing.
Opportunity, what we got going on here.
Yeah, man.
Opportunity. And one of the things, and one of the reasons, I think, not that we really need to know what the reasons are, it's going to change.
Mm-hmm.
But I think most brokerages and other ones, and other than us, and ones we've been able to be open with and talk to, it's a top-down situation where it's all regulated by the top instead of a bottom-up. Because the bottom up feeds the head. The bottom feeds the head, not the head feeding the bottom, simply because it's the group, it's the tribe, it's everybody that makes up what you're doing. People say it's the tribe you work with, not the person you work with, right? So that's what the issue is. And this is going from my years of working with Chet Black. It's not top down, it's bottom up.
It is bottom up. If we continue to look at, forget the real estate business. If we continue to look at business as usual, then we're going to have the same issues that the rest of the world has with
Oh, we lost him.
We lost his Sekou. I don't know if you can hear us. We lost.
Can you hear us? We can't hear you.
Can't hear you, Sekou. Let's see what happens. But
yeah, Mark.
I think it's important to remember that everything's agent driven.
Right. Human driven.
Right?
It's another way to look at it. Okay. So I spoke with an agent recently that was just opened their own brokerage.
Sorry about that, guys.
That's all right.
You are.
Just give me one sec. And the reason that they did it was because they wanted to make as much money as they could, and they really don't want to grow their business. I said, then why would you do that? I mean, what's the difference between owning your own brokerage and being with a brokerage you're going to get services on? Is he taking off? You still there, Sekou?
Yeah, we see you, Sekou.
Okay. All right, Sekou, thank you for coming on. Anyway, so and it just didn't make sense to me. Where it's like, everything goes to them, and I don't know how they can do it. But anyway, I digressed there a little bit. Sorry about that. But anyway, so we're in this, and you know what? It's work. I mean, we always thought that being home would be easier. It's a little bit more work. Would you say so, Mark?
It's definitely more work. There's more things to juggle, right? And you need to just be sensitive to everything else going on around you.
Right.
No. We're in a time where, the mindset, like we've been talking about, is the hardest thing for a lot of agents out there. The focus and the ability to, control, your day is harder and harder.
Right.
There are different distractions than you're used to.
So have you done anything differently to control? Now, of course, we're home and it's different, right? But have you done anything differently to reshape so that you can get your work done? Have you made any changes to how you do stuff, or is it you doing things the same way?
I'm still doing the time blocking, right? I'm trying to block out, different times of the day to deal with stuff. Then there's always the unknowns of what comes up, whether it be the kids needing to be fed or help with their work or running out to do an errand to, pick up food for the family, like whatever it is. So you have to be a little bit more flexible now than in the past, but it's still the same thing. Time blocking what you need to do throughout the day to get it done.
Yeah, as I'm using time blocks between appointments and stuff, I'm showing more prioritization in those blocks of what I have to do. So it's a lot different than before. Right. I also know damn well that if I don't answer the phone from my daughter, I'm going to be in big trouble because she checks up on me a couple of times during the day, and that's pretty super cool. But I mean, we have to continue to be careful. Don't go out unless it's absolutely necessary. Take your walk, run, whatever it is. But it's really important, not because of you getting sick, but you may have it and give it to somebody else. And remember, if you interact with one person, you're interacting with every person that they were with.
Right.
So, and that's the whole point behind our physical distancing.
Right.
Right.
Listen, if you're going to go out, be careful. But again, keep checking on everyone. Like we've been talking about, like the small businesses in our towns and our communities, check in on them, see what you can do to help them, share their information. It's super important. And then check on your fellow agents. I mean, we're all part of Facebook groups, and whether they be for real estate or whether it be for other interests that we have, right? You've communicated, you've shared information with these people. Check in on them, make sure they're doing okay. You don't know always what's going on behind closed doors in someone else's house, but if you call and check on them, A, they'll appreciate it. B, it's important to just make sure that everyone's doing all right and there's anything you can do to help.
Right. And later on today, to plug my own thing, at 11 a.m., we have Erica Baldino of KV International coming on to talk about title and what's going on in today's world of closings, et cetera, et cetera. And Erica's been on this program. She's going to be my special guest today. And just so you can plan, everybody, we have a special edition of Real Estate Talk TGIF next Tuesday at 4 p.m. It's not a secret guest. It's going to be none other than Tom Ferry. He's going to be on with me.
Amazing.
Real Estate Talk TGIF on Tuesday afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern. So today, Erica Baldino at 11 and Tom Ferry at 4 on Tuesday. And then we have I forget who's coming on next week, but we've got other people scheduled. It's going to be really cool.
Yeah, we got a bunch of special guests next week, but now we're growing to the weekend where it's a little bit more of an unknown in terms of our schedules. But spend time with your family, spend time, doing things around your house. Now's the time to, really take the time and focus on yourself and your family. Enjoy the weekend, play some games, drink a beer, have some fun. Right, it's not all about work, and we're looking forward to seeing you Monday morning.
Hey, Mark, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for everything that you do for me and for the real estate community. And it's my pleasure and honor to work with you here.
We just completed 3 full weeks of doing this, Dave.
Yep. And I think we've made a difference. We've had a lot of people on. It's getting shared. And you know what? We're sharing to more, just so you guys know, when you see my head down, I'm not answering texts. I'm actually sharing this around so people can get access to us because people have asked us. I want to thank Shane Bond for coming on, making a comment. And I want to also thank Avo Jabalian coming on. He said hello and says, thank you, Avo. We thank you for joining us. And you know what? Peace, brother.
Have a great weekend. See you Monday morning, 8:45.